tell you why we need more movies like Interstellar. A basic plot overview is the planet Earth has become uninhabitable and there's a huge blight. So we're running out of food and the human race is depleting. So NASA sends a group of astronauts into space through a wormhole to another galaxy to hopefully find another planet that will be able to habit life and save the human race. Now, the success of Interstellar was no secret. It set records in the box office, with $670 million made worldwide. Very, very well watched in South Korea, oddly enough. And this is a credit to Christopher Nolan. He was the writer, producer, and director. He's a really big picture guy, the artist in all this. He made movies like The Dark Knight trilogies and Inception and Memento. But the real key to this, I think, was Kip Thorne. He's a theoretical physicist, and he acted as the executive producer, being a science consultant from screenplay writing to production. That way the entire movie was based on fundamentally correct science. And what these guys did is they created a movement of inspiration. So they used a blockbuster film to promote some form of social change. And they made $670 million off that, so which means millions and millions of people watched it all over the world. They had huge effect in people's lives to promote some kind of change. And what change did they promote? Well, in my opinion, it was the love of space science. Christopher Nolan and Jonah Nolan, their brothers, they wrote the screenplay with Kip Thorne for scientific accuracy, like I said, so it had a foundation of accurate science, which is really important so it's not some sci-fi fantasy thing that people can just shrug off at the end of the 2 hours. Kip Thorne actually wrote the book, The Science of Interstellar, where he explains all of his theories and equations and ideas that happen in the movie. So to explain it, they're like relatively theoretically possible. Everything that happens in the movie is based off hardcore science. What science? There's Einstein's theory of relativity, wormholes, black holes, cosmology, some biology, cool stuff. Like when the planet orbits a black hole, the gravity change on that planet compared to this planet warps time-space. So 1 hour there could be 7 years on a different planet away from gravity like Earth, theoretically. And like I was just saying, it provides a basic knowledge for that. I'm not a physicist, but I'm able to comprehend that stuff just enough to spark an interest. And so with young kids watching this, it is science fiction. Yes, but the fiction is what fuels the creativity. You need science in order to make that imagination and creativity based off something real. Kip Thorne said, having an intuitive sense of creativity allows a scientist to leap beyond boundaries of human knowledge like Einstein did during his time. So you can be all about laws and facts and statistics, but what makes a great scientist is an artist. And you need to be able to have an imagination. One of the main goals Nolan wanted with this movie was to excite a younger generation on the subject of space science. So these young children, ages 9 through 13, when they grow up watching this movie, they're going to want to learn more about black holes and more about cosmology and hopefully find the secrets to the universe, much like Star Wars did. That entire franchise did wonders. It was during the 80s. The space shuttle went up for the first time. Everything was about space. People wanted a lightsaber, a spaceship, and Princess Leia. It ignited a flame of exploration. That's what people have always been doing. We're pioneers. It's a primitive reaction for us to go find new things and explore new places. In the last frontier, we thought it was the West, then it was Alaska, now it's space. We work best when we're faced with a challenge. People like to conquer things. And hopefully, since we'll stop conquering societies and cultures and new land here on Earth, we can all work as a people to expand and hopefully go upward to space. JFK said in his moon speech at Rice Stadium, "We set sail on this new sea because there is new knowledge to be gained and new rights to be won. And they must be won and used for the progress of all people. For space science, like nuclear science and all technology, has no conscience of its own. Whether it will become a force for good or ill depends on man." And that speech inspired a ton of people, just like this movie. So stop watching movies like Jackass and Napoleon Dynamite and The Human Centipede. If you haven't seen Human Centipede, don't see it. Don't waste your time. A lot of nightmares. And instead, let's work together and build on this. Let's use this opportunity of making huge blockbuster movies that millions of people see with the purpose of social change, and push the envelope with new ideas and use science as a background to build off of. Thank you.